eat somebody. Thank you for calling the Power Hour. What's up, man? Where are you calling? What's your name?
Hey, my name's Scott Snyder.
Holy crap! Hold on, man. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, it's really good.
Let me pick up my head right now real quick.
Yeah, let me just pick myself up off the floor. Scott Snyder.
Oh, my God. Scott Snyder, man. The world-famous Scott Snyder from... Oh, my God. From all 30 of his comic books that he's writing at the moment?
I know. I'm right. All 52.
Oh, my goodness, man. The amount of writing that you do... Oh, my God, dude. It's like, I don't know... I can barely do one job. I get home and I'm like, I can't believe I made it to the day. And this guy's writing like 20 books, man. Jesus Christ, how do you do it, man?
I'm your biggest fan.
I don't know. I feel like half the time I have no idea how I did it myself. I'm like, did I write that? But
no, I mean, writing right now.
Yes, exactly. I write with my feet while I'm on the phone. No, I'm really excited with all this series. So it's a lot of fun to be able to do it. And I mean. Honestly, it's there. You just work ahead. There's stories that you really are excited about, and so you try and just get ahead enough that you can manage the time. So it's really 3 series at once, which I can definitely do because that means an issue a week, and then you have 1 issue to edit.
Yeah,
so
but it's 1 week. 3 incredible series. They're not just like, I'm writing a Peanuts comic book. Come on, dude. I mean, the just the Batman alone is like you read the. I haven't read that many of your books. I just recently, Aaron Wilson just recently got me hooked again on comics because I had stopped for a long time, The first comic I picked up was the Batman with you and Greg Capullo because Greg Capullo is a really great guy that I met in Wizard World last year.
He's the best, man. Yeah, he couldn't be a nicer guy.
Yeah, and he told me, man, I'm going to be doing Batman next year. I was like, Batman, holy crap, And so the dude looks like a biker. He doesn't look like a comic book artist.
I know.
I can't believe
this. Right? He looks like a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm going to be doing Batman, brother, with Scott Snyder, brother. So
I know, man, and I'm small, so I'm sort of like the guy that rides in the sidecar while he rides in the Harley and stuff like that.
Put the goggles on.
Yeah, he called you Scotty. Come here, Scotty.
Mm-hmm. He's always like, listen, you're making your parents proud, kid. I'm like, dude, I'm in my 30s. I have 2 kids. But he's the best. I love him like a brother now, man. It was funny because we're so different that when we first started working together, we were a little bit like kind of circling each other, not sure of what to expect. Yeah. But then we started talking and we get along great. I love him. I love his wife, his family, and the same thing. We've been out with our families, and he's terrific. It's nothing better than working with someone you really like.
Very good, very good. Now, what was it like working with Stephen King on American Vampire? I mean, I've always wanted to ask you that.
It's crazy, man. He was great. I know him because he wrote a book, like a book of stories, and he reviewed it. He wrote a blurb for it, and he wasn't supposed to be on American Vampire. I just sent it to him for a quote. They asked me at Vertigo in D.C. once they bought it, do you mind sending it over to him because we know you know him, to be able to do like one line where he could say, I think this will be a great series. And then he liked it enough that he wrote back saying, I'll write an issue sometime. And I was like, if I tell Vertigo you want to write an issue, they'll want you to write issue 1, and they'll want me to write issue 2. So and he's like, no, they won't, because I've never written a comic and they probably won't trust me to do it. I was like, no, they really will trust you to do it, I promise, if I tell them. So anyway, he wound up writing all those issues because he expanded his story. He was amazing. And what it was like to work with him was incredibly fun and intense, where he's on the phone with you and emailing every day. And when you read his scripts, I really wish they had even included more of his scripts. I'm hoping they will publish them more at some point when they do some kind of bigger collection of AV. But they're so detailed, where there's things that never make it into the comic, but that because he's living in that world in his head, he puts in. So there'll be things that are about like a wagon passing and this guy who's a character in the back of a panel, his whole life story.
What?
Because, it's crazy because he really lives in the world of that story. And it was super inspiring because he could have phoned it in, you know what I mean, easily, but he did not at all. It was the opposite. And he also totally fucks with you, which is really funny too, because he'll be like, at the end of this, he's like, Skinner's sweet, he rips everybody apart, and then he's like, and then he turns into a bat and flies away. And I was like, oh no, I have to tell Stephen King, that's not how it happened. We don't do that in our series. And I'll be like, Steve, our vampires don't turn into bats. I'm really sorry. And he'll be like, I was just fucking with you. You know, it's like, but he did it like a few times where I got so nervous. He's like, and he turns into mist, you know, and I was like, shit, I can't believe I have to deal with this. So scared of telling him not to do it. Maybe they should just turn into mist.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, he was awesome.
Hey, I have to say congratulations on your efforts with shutting down Detective Comics. I mean, you did an amazing job with Francavilla, and I mean, you know, you made my top 10 on mytrickmedia.com. Like, you were my number one, obviously.
Thanks, man.
And
I really appreciate it.
And I've seen it around the web. You've been at least number 1 or number 2 in everyone's list for 2011.
Good
and
Lord.
I have to say that Gordon Jr. character was ridiculous.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to use him again. I can't wait to get my hands on him all over again. So I'm hoping I get a chance soon. But you'll definitely see him coming up in things like, you know, other Bat series like Batgirl and stuff. There are plans for him to come back in a big way, so he'll be around.
What inspired you to do the storyline that you're doing right now in Batman? Because when I first read about it, when I started reading it and you started figuring out that they have all these rooms and these buildings, I started thinking about that movie with what was that movie called? Being John Malkovich. Remember they have that little room?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so I was
right,
like,
totally.
holy crap, they got these little rooms everywhere. That's crazy.
Yeah, the way that it was inspired was I started thinking about it back when I was on Detectives, just because I had so much fun thinking about the history of Gotham City when I was doing that series Gates of Gotham on the side, and I was trying to do some, you know, make Gotham City a character and detective at the same time. So I was like, well, if I was going to do a Bruce story, I would really want it to be almost like Gotham City comes to Bruce and says to him almost, you think of us, the city, as your friend, and as kind of your closest friend is your ally, the thing you protect, and you're the savior of Gotham. Well, what if basically we just haven't been paying attention to you, and when we actually look you in the face, we're a total stranger and an enemy? So that idea really stuck with me back then, because to me, Bruce depends so much on thinking of himself as knowing the city better than anyone else. So if the city is a stranger to him, that's kind of really scary to him, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, that's cool.
So to build a villain and a series of villains out of that concept was something that I felt would really challenge him in a way that would cut to the core of the character. So once I knew that, it was really about just picking what the symbol would be and all that stuff. And because of Owlman and the idea of the way that the owl has figured in kind of the mythology of Batman as a rival, alternate universe, evil Batman symbol, I thought that would be really fun, and it's also a natural predator of the bat. So that's how it came about, and then it really became about building a story that would kind of level up each issue. And because you guys are in the store, I mean, tell me what you think on Tuesday when issue 5 comes out.
Oh.
But I promise you, issue 5 is like by far all of our favorite issue that work on the series. And
Is that the one that
5? I mean it. Like you can hold me to it. That if it's not our best issue, you can call me out. But
oh no, we won't. Is that the one? Is that the one that you started on with the 30 pages? Number 5.
Yeah, when we do the backups.
Yeah, no, because I know you're going to 30 pages. Is that the one that starts 30 pages? Number 5.
That starts at number 9.
Okay.
It starts at number 9.
Okay, it starts number 9. Okay.
So not for a little bit.
Okay.
But
no, we're fine with it. Don't believe me, man. We were like, well, we got 8 more pages. That's great for us.
Yeah, with Raphael, man, it's going to be good. With Raphael from American Vampire, he's amazing. You should see he's already starting to design the stuff, and wait till you see. He's like, it's going to be a great counterpoint to Greg. They're really different artists, but they really like each other, so it's going to be a really good book. I just think it's going to make it better. I'm really excited about it. So.
Cool.
Oh, absolutely.
I just have to say that I mean, by far, I mean, I've read a lot of good comic books in my day, and I mean, like Lewis, I hadn't read a comic book in a while, and Lewis turned me on to Batman, because I was like, Batman is like one of my favorite characters. So, you know, when I sat down and I started reading these issues, your sense of timing, I mean, I was so involved in the story, you know, from the gadgets. I mean, you coming up with all these different gadgets and how he's incorporated all his technology into the city. It's amazing. I honestly have to congratulate you. Yeah, honestly.
That means a lot. I mean, that means a lot to hear. He's my favorite character, and like, you know, it's a lot. It's tough because there's so many things you want to put in each issue where you want something to be like. You want like the fun of seeing some really cool thing that he has, like the Batmobile or a Batcycle or a gadget or something, and then at the same time you want it to be emotional. At the same time, it's a lot because so many people own Batman. I mean, he's so many different people's favorite character for different reasons. Some people love him because he's like James Bond. Some people like him because he's crazy. Some people like him because he's got the best villains. And it's scary. Like when you stop and you think about how much he means to so many people, it's paralyzing. So you have to kind of keep the blinders on and be like, I'm writing it as fan fiction and no one's going to read it. And then when you hear that people do like it, it really means a lot. So I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
you deserve it,
But
man.
that Batman's been every week that we do because we do on Wednesdays, we do the Mind Trick top 10 comics of the week, and every week
I remember seeing.
Every week it's either Batman or American Vampire. Anything that you and Jason Aaron do, because we're in love with both of your stuff. So you guys are always at the top.
Jason is the guy, when I started in comics, who I look to as someone who I was like, if I can do half as well as that guy in terms of producing stuff that every issue is something that clearly matters to him and is good with Scalp to Jason is really if I had to pick like a young writer or someone that's relatively new that I look up to tremendously. And also I'm lucky enough now that we're friends. Like I've met him at different cons and now we've hung out and we're friends, but he, as a peer, I mean, I look up to him more than anyone in terms of an up-and-coming writer. And, long term, or guys that have been around a long time, there's a lot of guys I look up to, from Mark Waid and Grant Morrison and stuff. But younger guys, Jason, there's nobody better than Jason working. He's honestly, I mean, every issue I read all of his issues to become a better writer. He's incredible.
Oh man,
good. Yeah, that's amazing. Now, before we get into the big news of what's going on in the world of Batman that I'm sure you would love to talk about, let's talk about Severed. I mean, I love this comic book.
I'm glad you like it, man. I'm excited. Do you like it? It was really, I was nervous about it because it's so different, because it's, wait till you see next issue, issue 7, there's stuff that happens where I was like, are we really going to draw a picture of this? It's fucking, that's like, that really, like, that's so gruesome. So, I mean, it's really dark, but it's also, it's a story that's about a lot of stuff that I've always been interested in, and my friend Scott has always been interested in. We've been friends since we were 13, so.
Wow.
Yeah, so again, like, I feel like one of the big goals in life is to be able to work with people you really like and, be able to work with your friends. And so Severed has been a huge pleasure to be able to do, and at the same time, it's also terrifying to work on every time. But
I can imagine.
I'm excited. It's something that's about that one time period in American history that's really spooky, where it's like, you can kind of become anyone you want, and cars are new, and records are new. All this stuff is new and scary, and at the same time, it's exciting. So we wanted to create a character that was excited about this new world and the kid, Jack, and then create a character that was incredibly terrifying and predatory with the same stuff that took advantage of all those things, like the mobility of the rails, and changed his face and his name and everything, and is almost like a demon of the crossroads. So I'm really happy that people have responded to it so well, because it was definitely a labor of love in that way. It wasn't anything that we expected to get the kind of response it did. So I'm very excited about it.
And you had a great choice in the artist. I mean, Attila Fataki's doing an amazing job. I mean,
he really is. Yeah, I'm super proud of him, man. And he lives in Budapest, but he's in the States right now. So I'm hoping that we get together and be able to get together and do some signings and stuff in the city in New York, because he's staying in Brooklyn right now. But he deserves the lion's share of credit for tons of good stuff in the book. He really worked his ass off on it. So.
See, the problem is it's cold in New York. You guys need to come down to South Florida and chill with us and your sister.
I want
right?
to. Nothing would make me happier, man. My sister lives down there. She lives in Fort Lauderdale.
You coming down to MegaCon?
Yeah, she lives up in North Florida, but I mean, I want to come down to the South Florida. I came down there with my wife to. I lived in Florida in Orlando for a year after college and stuff, and I loved it. And we used to take trips down to the Everglades and stuff. It was amazing. I'd love to come down and visit you guys.
I tell you what, happy hours on me, brother.
All right, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm there too.
I should hop off pretty soon, because my wife's about to get home from the hospital. She's a resident over there, and she gets home at 10 this week. So I should hop off pretty soon.
That's fine.
Okay, how about a quick plug? What's going on with the Batman crossover event that's coming up? This looks ridiculous.
the Night of the Owls.
Night of the
Well,
Owls.
that is another thing that's like, I don't know. I wake up happy to go to work. Honestly, right now, I really am grateful to DC for all of these opportunities and stuff. But so what's going on with that is that it's crossing over into really almost all the Bat books except Detective and Batwoman. Meaning, it's going to be in All-Star Western even. It's going to be in Birds of Prey, Batgirl, Dark Knight, Batman and Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl. So it's going to be a very singular event. I don't want to say how many issues because it's going to be very small. It's going to be very tight because it's one night where the Court of Owls really, makes its strike against Gotham. But the hope with it was that it was an event that wasn't built as an event. It was kind of something where I was doing this Court of Owls story, and I realized there was a moment in the story somewhere around issue 8 or 9 where I was going to have to address the status of the other Bat characters because the scope of the attack that the Owls are going to make on Gotham was going to require at least a show where the other characters are. So I called up all the other Bat writers who, luckily in the Bat U at least in Gotham, we're pretty friendly, all of us, me and Gail and Pete Tomasi and Tony Daniel and stuff. We get along really well. So I had their phone numbers and stuff, and I was like, listen, I'm telling this story in Batman that we have a few months to think about it, but if you want to cross over and you want to use the stuff in the Court of Owls story without giving too much away of what the stuff is, but to say if you want to use something from the Court of Owls story to be able to cross over with Batman, feel free, and it'll be a lot of fun, and I'll give you lots of room. You can tell whatever story you want as long as you follow like very, very broad guidelines about it. And go ahead, and you get to show Gotham history as well, because the court is such a part of Gotham history that if you want to use part of this story and then at the same time give a brief glimpse of a decade in Gotham's history that you're excited about, you can. So do that, and if you want to keep telling the story you're telling and it isn't going to work to cross over, then don't feel pressured to do it. So some people like Tony Daniel on Detective were really going to be right in the middle of a story that's really exciting with the Two-Face backups and all that stuff. So he was really like, I just don't want to do it right now. I was like, of course, don't do it, no problem. Same with JH on Batwoman. So there are a couple books that are going to be doing their own thing, but within the Court of Owls crossover and the Night of the Owls, it's really supposed to be an event that's really built around whether the writers on their books felt like they'd have something fun to do with it that would be completely organic to their own series and wouldn't require you to read all the other series at once. So it will be standalone in each one, meaning you don't have to read all of them. It's not trying to push you to buy all of the books. Although I'll tell you this, I have read the Nightwing issue, the Batgirl issue, the Catwoman issue. Catwoman's in it too, and Batwing issues, and they're really good. And the All-Star issue, they're really good. They're all written. So I would stand by saying you should pick them all up, but you don't have to.
Yeah. No,
you don't have
I will.
to. You don't have to.
Believe
You
me,
can
man.
read Batman. You could read Batman, and it will be self-contained, meaning it won't push you to have to read the other books to make sense of what's happening in it.
No, I'm gonna have to add that to my 4-issue limit. Wow, man, it sucks. Man. I have
you might have to go over it.
I got a 4-issue a week limit, but it's always either you two, man. I can't buy anybody else's stuff right now because I only got 4 issues. Oh, today I broke the rule though. I got 5. I almost went nuts.
Yeah, so I'll have to make all of mine come out in the same week.
My God, man! Yeah. And when they all come out in the same week, oh my God! Poor Aaron. Aaron over there has like 20 issues in his pull list. He's gonna have to add another one.
I call it tax deduction.
He's bordering on divorce, man. Poor Aaron.
You can write it off. It's part of work, right?
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Either MegaCon or comics. MegaCon, comics. You got to pick one, Aaron.
What's your shop, you guys? Are you at a shop right there now?
Nah, man. We broadcast live on the internet on SoFloRadio.com every Wednesday and Saturday at 9.
Nice. I was going to say, if you had an LCS, I'd send you some stuff for it, or a poster or whatever.
Yeah, man. I can give you a place
to you guys. If there's some visual thing where I can send you something saying thanks for having me on and whatever, I'll send it to you.
Of course, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we'd love it. Absolutely.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Email me. My email, I'll give you, I guess, on Facebook, I'll message you so you have it. So say it over the air to everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
You wanna do that.
and tell me your address, and I'll send you some signed Batman 5s and stuff, and you can give them away or whatever you want.
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
That's awesome.
We will.
Oh, you're
I'll
so
give.
cool.
I'll give some of them away.
Cool, man. All right. Yeah, or give none of them away. Whatever
No,
you
I'll
want
give
to do.
something. I can't be greedy. Today we gave out 2 tickets to MegaCon, so I'll give out something.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
And we're not greedy. But oh man, it's been the biggest pleasure of our lives to have you on, Scott.
Oh, no, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me on. It's
So
always
cool
a
to take the
pleasure,
time, man. You got to come back sometime and blow our minds a little bit more.
I promise. I'll surprise you. When I'm in Florida, I'll come by. I really want to. I want to get down
Cool,
there
man.
badly.
That's cool,
Yes,
dude.
please.
Cool.
Please
All right,
do.
man.
Rescue
All right.
me from the cold.
All right, dude.
Yeah, it's nice and warm down here. What's the high? 80?
Oh yeah, man. The other day it was like back to the 80s. I was like, good lord,
yeah,
man, we can't
the high
catch a
up here
break.
is like 40. Deal
Oh.
with that.
We
I
it was
can't even go to my car without freezing my balls off.
it was cold for a nice sweet 5 days.
All right, I'll talk to you guys
All
soon.
right, man. Thanks,
Thank you,
Scott.
bro.
All right,
Thank
thanks
you.
a lot,
Scott.
Scott.
Thanks a lot, man.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Oh man, that's awesome, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
that was awesome.
can't believe it, Aaron.
Good
Good lord, Aaron with his I don't know how he gets people to. we know how he gets Mr. Logan, but I don't know how you got Scott, man. I don't know what you did, but it was awesome, dude. Oh
My
man,
pleasure,
Pro,
guys.
man. He's a pro.
yeah, this guy, he's a really dope dude.
Marketing genius.
God, man, you know it must be. I can't imagine what it must be like to have a job that you just so fucking love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have that. None of us have that, right?
No.
I don't really love my job. I just like the money.
Yeah.
But Jesus, man, I'm sure that guy wakes up and he's like, man, I'm writing Batman, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Come on, dude, what is it like? You know, just
But
sit
you gotta admit, it's a lot of pressure, dude.
No,
You're writing Batman.
But dude, listen,
Yeah.
the way he writes it, and with the imagination that he has and everything, it must not be that hard, man, because he's just putting out all kinds of great stuff.
It's not. Yeah, I guess
it's
so.
a natural
You know?
fit.
You know?
Yeah.
Listen to the Powwow free on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and live Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9 p.m. only on the powwowshow.com and SoFlowRadio.com.